This is the Skoda Elroq, and it's the follow-up to the extremely successful Enyaq. I get so many comments on my videos from Enyaq owners who absolutely love them. It's smaller than the Enyaq, and it's coming into the increasingly crowded compact SUV segment. What are these, drinks holders for ants?
Oh, that's something I still need to learn.
So you may be wondering which I prefer, the Elroq or the Kia EV3. It just feels so classy and lovely, yeah. So first of all, let's look at the design of the Elroq. The first thing you'll probably notice is it doesn't look quite like any other Skodas you may have seen. Well, not from the front anyway. This is Skoda's modern solid design language, and I think it looks much better than other Skodas from the front. It looks pretty sleek, cool, I like the angles, looks a little bit cyborgy. So that's the front. The rest of the car is business as usual, really. Everything starts looking far more conventional when you look at the side. It just looks like any other Skoda to me. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Not everyone wants to drive around in a futuristic looking EV. It doesn't have to look like a spaceship, it just has to look like a car for a lot of people, and it does. It's conventional. And this is the back, and you know, looks all right. Looks all right, doesn't it? It's fine. Looks like a car. I'm struggling to find anything to talk about really here, but you know, it's got the SUV vibe, it's fine. So this is the Skoda Elroq Edition 85, and I'm going to have to consult my notes for this because there are a bewildering array of options. And I don't know what it is with Skoda and the Volkswagen Group in general, but why do they have to make it so complicated? You've got different versions. You've got the SE, the SEL, the Edition, the Sportline, and the VRS. And then you've got battery sizes. You've got 50, 60, and 85. Weird numbering because the battery isn't 85 kilowatt hours. It's 82 kilowatt hours, and in fact 77 kilowatt hours usable. Don't know where the 85 comes from, but anyway, that's what it is. So you've got your version, your battery, and then you've got the design inside. Loft, Lodge, or Suite. This one's Lodge. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And if that wasn't enough, let's add some more options into the mix. You've got Transport, Winter, Plus, Advanced, and Max with 2 X's. I don't know why they have to make it so complicated, but it starts at 38,650 for the Skoda Edition 85. The 85 being the biggest battery, so it's the longest range version. This is rear-wheel drive. With all of the options added to this one, this comes to 45,260. So this has bigger wheels. It's got the advanced option, and it's got the fancy paint. I just find it a bit annoying. I don't want to be given all these options. Just give me some basic trim levels. Let me choose from 3. You know, that's enough. This is built on Volkswagen's MEB platform, which is pretty efficient, actually. Skoda claim you get 360 miles of range out of this, and based on my driving, I think you can. So although this gets compared to the Kia EV3 quite a lot, it's actually bigger in every dimension. It's 1,884 millimeters wide, 4,488 millimeters length, 1,625 millimeters height, which is, again, comparing it to the EV3, it's a taller car, which will probably translate to pretty good headroom inside. Interestingly, the turning circle is better on this than it is on the EV3. So this is a 9.3 meter turning circle. The EV3 is 10.4. This does come with a heat pump, which obviously helps with efficiency, but it's an option. Obviously, it's pretty good weather today, so I'm not sure what it's like in winter. I would love to try driving this in winter and see what it's like. Towing is, of course, an extra that you can add on, and it'll tow up to 1,000 kilograms braked, 750 unbraked. If we look in the boot, now this is the clever stuff that Skoda is famous for. How great is this? Charging cable just there. That makes perfect sense, doesn't it? So, you know, you can have all the crap filling up your boot. You don't have to move that out and get under here, under a false floor to get the charging cable. It's just there. So that's fantastic. You've also got these little cubbies just in here as well. You've got a 12-volt socket there. And you've also got this weird thing here, which I don't really understand what the point is. I suppose it's like another thing that you can put stuff on, but I don't know, it seems a bit flimsy to me. But maybe it's fine, you know, maybe you can put some light bags on there or something, I'm not sure. And it's got this little thing there, I guess that holds it there. You don't have much in the way of space underneath. You have a net, it's nice. You can also take the parcel shelf off and move it down onto the next level. and this supports up to 3 kilograms of weight. The boot is 470 litres, and that extends to 1,580 litres if you put the back seats down. I always find litres a little bit of a pointless measurement, really, so let's see what it's like with some luggage in the back. And I'll get out the tape measure as well. About 85 centimetres depth, 100 centimetres width. Up to the parcel shelf, it's about 45 centimetres. With the seats down, and this is my driving position, you've got 170 centimetres of depth. And if we put some luggage in, there we go. It's very snug. And you've easily got enough room there for another couple of squashy bags, you know. Just to show how capacious the boot is. It's not the most conventional test ever, but there we go. 2 chairs in there. My wife sends me to get these things from Facebook Marketplace. And I really love that it doesn't do beep, beep, beep when you close the boot. It has 11 kilowatts AC and 175 kilowatts DC, which will take 28 minutes to get to 80%. So pretty good, really. And it's also fantastic that it's got battery preconditioning. And not only that, it will tell you what charge speed you're going to get before you even get to the charger, which is like a no-brainer. Why don't all cars do that? It all feels very lovely in the cabin. Just really comfortable. This is the Lodge. So you've got loft, lodge and suite. There are the 3 designs you can have for the inside. You've got lots of your standard normal plastic in here, but you've also got lots of the lovely squishy plastics and some interesting textures going on. Very comfortable seats as well. And this is the advanced option it's got, which has quite a lot of lovely stuff in it, like an augmented head-up display, memory seats, lumbar support, and some other bits here and there, but it feels very nice in here. You've got a dark headliner. You don't have a sunroof. I don't think you have a sunroof in any of the options. So it feels quite dark in here, but very cozy. And it does have physical controls, which makes me very happy. Although, the number one thing I would want from physical controls, the number one thing would be changing the temperature and the fan speed, and it doesn't do that. You've got a button called Klima, and you can press that, and then it will come up on the screen. You can do it on screen, but you can't actually do that with a button. I miss the old days of like crappy old cars where you just had sliders for increasing and decreasing the heat and things like that. Can't we go back to the sliders? I love the sliders. Anyway, no, it's kind of touch screeny, but with a few buttons. You've got other buttons for changing all of the driver assistance stuff. It's good that you do have a shortcut to go straight to that, and then you do it on screen. Drive modes, parking cameras, and you can put the blower on max at the front and the rear demisting. So you can do all that with these buttons, but yeah, I want climate controls here. You've got a lovely big touch screen. You can see that CarPlay is up on there at the moment. It does have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. Here's your main screen. You've got loads of settings buried around in here. If I'm just going to click on settings here, and you can see you've got, it's actually really clear. I've got to say that the infotainment system is very good. And this is, of course, the same as the Volkswagen ID cars as well. And I find that all very good. I'm going to do what I normally do, and I'm going to go to Edinburgh. I'm not actually going to go to Edinburgh. Directly to the destination.
Please drive to the route shown.
So now it should.
Your route contains multiple essential charging stops.
Okay, well, it's kind of telling me where I've got to charge, which is fine. So, you know, I'd have the confidence to know where I have to charge, but is it telling me the battery percentage that I'll have when I get there? Yeah, okay, so if I click there, okay, you get more information. So I'll get there with 15%, charge up to 78%. Okay, so that's fine. Well, all right, it sort of works. It's not brilliant, but it kind of works. If you are used to any kind of Volkswagen car, then it'll all feel very natural to you. The steering wheel feels lovely. The buttons on the steering wheel just feel so nice. Really good and just tactile, which I like that, and a heated steering wheel button actually on the steering wheel, which is great. Massive side mirrors. So under the armrest, which doesn't sound very good, does it? Under the clunky armrest, you've got a little tray that comes out there, and pretty decent storage space in there. In fact, very good. God, it keeps on going. What's that? a box. Anyway, that's what Skoda's good at. They're good at giving you little trays and stuff like that. Is that for money, I guess? Again, more plastic stuff that gets removed for the incredibly small cup holders. What are these? Drinks holders for ants? It's tiny. I've got 4 things to test. First of all, I just bought this. It's a 12-ounce, 340 milliliter reusable cup. Let's have a go with that. That fits absolutely fine, very snug. We're not going to get anything bigger than that, are we? A standard, what's that, 300ml bottle, glass bottle, absolutely fine. And probably the same sort of thing. Yep, nice and snug. So that's all fine. That's never going to fit, but are you really going to drive along with a big bottle like that anyway? You can just put that down there, and it's not going to rattle around because we've got a nice lining there. You have wireless charging, and interestingly, it's cooled as well, because if you have wireless phone charging, it can all get a little bit warm, right? And that apparently is not a problem. It's cooled. So that's all good. Pretty small glove box. The bonnet release is over on the passenger side. I guess they didn't bother changing that over for right-hand drive. No frunk. Bit of a shame. And you've got storage down here as well. So in fact, you know, there is quite a bit of storage. Skoda's famous for nice, clever little touches. And here's one that I love. An umbrella. Sustainable umbrella. Sitting in the back, it's really comfortable. The amount of space I've got in front of me is really good. I'm 5'10", 5'11", that's 180 centimetres. And I've got a hell of a lot of space in front of me. And my feet go really nicely under the seat in front. So it feels very comfortable in here. All I would say is that the headrest sticks out quite a lot, which I'm not, yeah, I feel like my head, yeah, it's trying to push my head forward a little bit too much, I feel. So yeah, I'd be inclined to remove that headrest completely, actually. And it's the same in the back, just about fits. And I suppose you could put your phone there if you want. I mean, you can't really watch anything on it, but you can store it there, I suppose. Or you can put it in that little pocket there. And the whole thing goes down in the middle as well, so you've got easy access for skis or extremely long people. And the advanced option also gives you this little bucket for vomiting in or whatever else you're going to use it for. But it is removable, and it goes down there. You'll see there's a little gap just here. That's got heating controls in it on one of the specs, but not this advanced edition trim. Is it me, or does that look like Marvin the paranoid android from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Okay, now he looks drunk. You've got 2 USB-Cs at the bottom here, and window blinds as well. Again, that's something you get in the advanced option. So, it all feels lovely. And look at these red seat belts. Well, I say red, but is that red or is it orange? What do we think? Very cool. Although the rest of the interior and the rest of the car is quite conventional, really. So red seat belts like this look a little bit like a middle-aged guy wearing a funky watch strap and Converse to try and look trendy. Okay, let's go for a drive and we'll see how efficient it really is. Right, I'm going to get a coffee and then a bagel. I'm going to meet some friends in a place called Billingshurst. So let's have a look and see how good the navigation is in the Elroq. Right, so we're going to go to a place called the Blacksmith's Arms. The Blacksmith's Arms, and that's in Billingshurst. Let's see if it can find it. Struggling a bit, isn't it? I've got 2 bars of 4G, so it should be all right. Okay, let's just try The Blacksmith's Arms then? No, it's not that one. Oh God, right, okay, well it's also called the 1010 restaurant, so let's have a look. The 10 out of 10 restaurant. Certainly taking its sweet time over it, isn't it? Take me to the 10 out of 10 restaurant in Billingshurst.
Sorry, I don't know how to do that yet.
Navigate to the 10 out of 10 restaurant in Billingshurst.
Oh, that's something I still need to learn.
Navigate to Billingshurst.
Okay, centre of Billingshurst. Have a good journey.
Yeah, I mean, that's not great, is it? The gear selector is this little, pleasing little nodule down here. It's quite inoffensive, I like it. B mode just increases the regenerative braking a little bit, which means that when you take your foot off the throttle, the car slows down more and it recharges the battery. So I love a bit of regen. But I wish it had more regen. It doesn't have one pedal driving, which is something I really like. It does a weird thing that when you start driving, the seatbelt retracts. It kind of goes in like that and forces you back into the seat. It's really weird. I'm driving past 2 restaurants at the moment and it's got the names of both completely wrong. These are restaurants that they changed their names at least a year ago and they're still wrong. That's not great, is it? This is a new car. This is October 2024. So for the database to be that wrong, it doesn't give me very much hope. But I don't know whether you heard that, but it's beeping at me. And it thinks that the road is 40 miles an hour here, but it's actually 60. So it's got a speed limit warning thing, which I have a problem with most of the time anyway. And yeah, I don't mind speed limit warnings too much if they're not too loud. And this one is quite subtle, really, it's good. And also I like the fact that it doesn't beep at you when you just go 1 mile an hour over the speed limit. It seems a bit more subtle, so that's great. However, if it doesn't know what speed the road is, then it's just annoying and useless, isn't it? And this is the problem with these speed limit detection things in all modern cars. They always drive me mad. And really there's no point in having all this tech if it doesn't know what the speed limit is on the road. And it should know both from the sat-nav and it should know from the cameras. But clearly, in this case, it's not infallible. Anyway, moaning about the speed limit stuff and the navigation aside, it's lovely to drive. It's rear-wheel drive. It's got quite a bit of pep in it, this one. It's 6.6 seconds to 62 miles an hour. It's rear-wheel drive. Being an EV, it's very torquey. It's 545 newton meters of torque. It's quite high, so it's still an SUV or compact SUV. So you get a little bit of body roll, but not very much actually, and it feels lovely to drive. Pretty quiet, it's just feels solid and assured, and it's just really comfortable to drive, and the seats are lovely as well. Something I always think about when I'm testing any car is, how would it be to drive it down to Italy? Because we do that trip quite a lot. And some cars are better than others, but this, I would have no problems at all taking it down to Italy. It would be, I think it would be a delight because it's so comfortable. So as I said, you've got D mode for drive and then B mode, which is just increases the regenerative braking. And a lot of EVs have those sorts of modes. But I do wish it had more levels of regenerative braking, like the Kia and Hyundai cars have, and in fact Renault cars have it as well. They've got paddles just behind the steering wheel and you can increase it or decrease it as you like, and I love that. Yeah, the sat-nav just looks a little bit like an old TomTom or something like that. It's a bit old-fashioned, really. Got a very pleasing sound, the indicators, I think. Okay, so got here with 75% battery, which is exactly what it said I was going to get here with. Right, time for a nice espresso. Gonna get a bagel now. So this place is Jacob's Bagels, and they make organic bagels, which are absolutely delicious. And now I'm going to drive back and we'll see what the efficiency is like. The infotainment screen is lovely and big, really clear. And I love the fact that you've got that in front of you there. It's very clear, it's well positioned and everything. You've also got the binnacle in front of you, which also tells you your speed, your battery percentage, your range, all the basic stuff. It also shows you how close you're getting to the curb and all that kind of thing, if you've got all the safety stuff enabled. You've also got the HUD, and you've also got the augmented reality as well. And the augmented reality HUD is surprisingly good, and it's also quite subtle. I can't show you this while I'm driving, obviously, but you can see that's what you get with the augmented display. It's really subtle, it just projects it nicely in front of you. It's not distracting at all, it's really good. And that's something you get on this advanced package. The one that I'm driving now is the advanced package, and that's what you get. And yes, it's brilliant. I love HUDs. If you're already driving a Elroq or whatever, and you decided you wanted to go electric, then I think you would have no issues getting this. And the range, you know, 360 miles is a really good range. Charging up in 28 minutes to 80%, again, that's really good. And if you're doing a long journey, then you can quite easily stop for 28 minutes, especially if you've got family. And in fact, do it. Next time you're on a, because I know I get a lot of comments from people that saying, oh, you know, my diesel does 600 miles or whatever to the tank, which is fine. But if you're doing a long journey, you're not going to do that kind of mileage. You have to stop for a break. Legally, you have to stop for a break anyway. And I just think if you're doing a long journey and you've got 360 miles in this, even let's say it's 250 miles in winter or something, 250 miles is still hours of driving, at which point you can quite easily stop for half an hour. If you're doing a long journey, then a car like this I think is absolutely fine. If you've got any reservations at all, then I think they would probably melt away once you get in here, because the range is really very good. Okay, back home, and we've got 4.1 miles per kilowatt hour. In fact, every time I drive the car, I seem to get 4.1 miles per kilowatt hour, which is exactly what Skoda quote, actually. So based on that, yes, it really is a 360 mile car at this time of year. But I would love to test it in winter to see what kind of efficiency we get. I might ask Skoda nicely. It just feels so classy and lovely, yeah. So you may be wondering which I prefer, the Elroq or the Kia EV3. If you've watched my Kia EV3 review, you'll know that I absolutely loved it. And it's a really difficult one because I prefer the look of the EV3, even though I love the front of this. So I prefer the look of it. And the interior design I also prefer with the EV3, even though it's got, in the higher trim level, it's got a kind of ridiculous little table thing in the centre that makes no sense. This is the bigger car, although it's got the smaller turning circle. It's rear-wheel drive. I think it's probably better to drive, I think. Even though the EV3 is still lovely, but I think this is just a bit better. Feels a bit more refined, a little bit quieter inside, I think. It's a slightly bigger boot. What else? Well, there's more room in the back for the family, like the leg room is better in the back. So that might lead you to believe that this would be my favourite of the two. But I love vehicle to load, and that's something that EV3 has in the top spec. In terms of price, they're pretty much the same. I mean, there's not very much in it. There's different options. Obviously, you can add so many options onto this, which bothers me. So many options that put the price up quite a lot. But generally, you can get a really good long-range car for around the same price. Which brand do you prefer? Because a lot of it might just come down to that. But I've got to say that overall, I think this is a really great, I keep saying solid, but it does feel just a great solid car. And yeah, I would really struggle to choose between the two. But I have to say, I prefer the infotainment system on Kias, or at least I prefer the mapping in Kias, because the built-in mapping in this I actually find is pretty disappointing. Although the augmented reality display in this is fantastic, I think, and much better than I was expecting. But again, that's in the advanced pack, so you do have to add on the options, of course, to get that. So, I don't know, which one would you pick? Tell me in the comments. So there it is, the Škoda Elroq. I said Škoda that time instead of Skoda, just preempting all the comments I'm going to get saying I'm pronouncing it wrong. I really like it. I think it's great. It's competent, it's good to drive, it's efficient, it's got lots of clever little stuff I love, plenty of room in there for the family, and in fact I would be more than happy to take this down to Italy with the whole family. It's really lovely. It's difficult to fault anything actually, other than the infotainment. Not the infotainment actually, because that's actually pretty good. Just the navigation is seems pretty bad to me. It's just a bit of a shame. I'd rather they just gutted it all out and just stuck in Google Maps instead. But other than that, there's not much to dislike about it. But I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Do you already have a Skoda Enyaq or Elroq? Because I know you're quite a feverishly enthusiastic bunch of people. So I'd love to know what you think and if I've got anything wrong or missed anything. Do let me know. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please press the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of other videos. And I'll be back very soon. Bye for now.